stop of the day. So right before the beginning there are toilets, which is good. You do have to pay 40p. One's got cash, the other's card, but it's coin. That's 40p, so it's gone up since what it's saying on the website. Glamorous. Right. This is it. So the first ever proper multi-day hike where there's no stopping. There is technically backing out. I've got enough bus routes to sink a battleship. God, I sound depressing. Oh my god, which way do we go? It's map time already. First sign, first hill. I think it's about 150 metres over the next mile or so up, so that's not too bad. I say now. That is a beautiful view. Onwards and upwards. So we're still climbing out of Ulverston. Of course, I've had no idea how the audio is coming out on this. Hopefully it's coming out quite well. That's a beautiful little church. Can't get rid of the pepper pot of the sea still. And the ravel of, I'm guessing it's Duke of Edinburgh. I've probably stuck about 7,000 styles back now. That's certainly one thing about not being in a group, is that you certainly don't have to wait for 30 people to get for a style. And so far, because it's all farmland, there's not been too many. The fields are quite actually nice and wide and open, so it's not like the one in the Peak District. So it's actually been quite easy. They're a bit dicey, some of them, sort of the stone wall ones going over. Just got to hope the stones don't snap off the walls you want them. So just hit the road after the church, and the road here is a bit busy, but there's a bench, which is awesome. I love a bench. So I have a sit down for a few minutes. So this so far is, God, how many miles in is this? Let's have a look. Bearing in mind about half a mile of this is, so we're probably about just over 3 miles or so in. So this is just before Broughton Beck. I don't know if you can actually see that. Probably not, I've got the screen a bit dim. Right, so that really is just a little hamlet, Beckton, whatever the name was. There's nothing there at all. So it's what I suspect is generally going to be the same through most of this. Right. Now this here, I'm sure I saw people, you got the sign there and someone walked through there, but it does actually say Cumbria Way on there. So when you get to here, do not cross the little stream and up. Good place for water though. Could be full of sheep shit. Carry on. Pardon you? Oh, I've got to film this one. It's a baby. Oh, you're so diddy. You're no bigger than a dog, are you? Hello. Hello, you. Oh, I got no food for you, buddy. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, carry on though. I won't wind you up. Right, so we've just come through the farm just at the end there. You might find some dogs out, but you got 2 who are quite sort of bouncy and happy, and a couple that were quite timid and just wanted to get by. Oh, so that's a Swift, isn't it? Yeah, Swift's open tail. So yeah, if you are a bit nervous of dogs, then you should be alright getting through. You just need to, hello, you just need to sort of bear that in mind, really. Oh my god, how many swifts there? That's awesome. Nope. Right, anyway, carrying on. Right, I'm a wimp. So just come over the stile here, Teletubby Land in the distance, and I don't think anyone wants to milk them. But just up there the road curves round, so I don't know what to do. I'm going to feel bad if I don't do the route, so I'm going to go up and round. This is my last ever video. Delete my browsing history. Yeah, that one's a bit pissed off. Oh, he's got a colder. Handy to know if you do need to come up this hill. It's unfenced anyway, so could make a beeline up the hill a fair bit if you wanted to and get onto this road. So this is what it is. But yeah, he's still eyeing me up. What an asshole. But there you go. As long as he doesn't come rumbling up here. It doesn't. Oh, I'm sorry, but this gate's just comical. Well, not gate, whatever the thing is. Why? Why? There's a lot of bugs here as well. Oh, muppet. When you see the small Smurf gate, you can just walk round it. Oh well. I've seen this sign a few times as well. Beef balls females not illegal. To prevent your cattle getting out ball. If you're a snowflake, turn round. Alright, lovely. And someone's fingered up the gate. We'll do the latch. Let's crack on and hope. First view of Coniston. So I'm guessing one of those to the left is the old man of Coniston, since everyone always seems to point that out in their videos. I have no idea which one of the two pointy ones, or it's actually three pointy ones. Well, so mega pointy, a slightly pointy, and a it's only a bit of a slog up here. At least considering it's September, we've just had that ridiculously warm weather where it's hit 30 odd, probably the hottest ever in a September. Pepper pot's gone as well, I've noticed. Yeah, it's now about 17 today, it's showing on the Met Office, so it's rather warm. It's a bit humid, it's a bit not really boggy down there, but it's a bit wet. Oh my god, look at the wind farm. I might not be able to pick it up. So it's slightly over what's really nice for walking in the day, but it's not meant to drop below about 10 degrees overnight. So for night time it's absolutely perfect, because instead of bringing my Snowbird 3 or 2, which weighs a kilo, instead I've just bought a down hood and the 300 gram bag. So that's a good 300 plus gram saving overall, which it doesn't sound a lot. That's like a couple of freeze dried meals, Yeah, that's the chair. So I'm quite happy with that. Right, let's crack on to get to this tarn at 10 miles, and then we can sit down and have a bit of a rest. Right, I'm a bit stumped here. So I'm walking along and I could see, I'm pretty certain, like a couple of something up the hill there. And I was thinking, what? I've just looked at the map. Let's get about the sun on. And you can see that's a Cumbria Way this way. It's taking me on this lower path, which luckily does go to the same place at the end of this. So this is Tottle Bank Heights. So I don't know what's happened there. That's a bit. There you go, out of this part almost. So this has been like the first sort of real sort of section where it seems more actual Lake District rather than farmland. So it's nice that probably about the first 7 miles are sort of farmland, which you're not going to get away from, and then it does start to turn more into this. So I think the tarn's over the next hill or so over there. So this is the false path I took, or the one that seemed to be marked up. It's a weird place down there. I'm guessing it's got to be like sheep or pigs or something. There's like loads of little sort of boxy rooms. They've all got to be heated because they've all got gas, and they've got water, shed loads of gas bottles. Bizarre. Anyway, going back to that route where it seemed to be different, you might be able to see it on the left hand side. There is the route I came down, and on the right is the other one. So it does actually join on where the wet mushy bit is, which is why it didn't look like there was another way to go. So it does look like it's slightly higher in elevation, but not actually all that much. Whew. Just about to make 10 miles in. I've got to say, I've forgotten the name of the guy. I was watching this video last night. He did a really good one actually of doing this, and he went over to the right, and then you got amazing views over Coniston Water, which I think when I looked on the map earlier, we're actually parallel next to you now, over to the east. So that hill there doesn't look as horrendous as I thought it was going to look, considering you've got to walk around the tarn and then off down there. Let me get down to it and have a think. It is about 50 metres up that side if you do want to go to the right. So what a beautiful view. So literally just about around the 10 mile mark now. It's 2:15. So just filtered a bit of water. My Catalan B3 though is running really slow, and I have no idea why. Literally having to physically really squeeze it to get anything out of it, but at least it is working. But something I probably should have tested before coming out, so that's probably going to have to go. Yeah, I think instead of going around this way, which it's been a bit boggy just coming down here, so I honestly can't bother to walk around the boggy bit when the path up there doesn't look that high, and then if you've got the lovely views over Coniston Water as well, I think that's just going to be far more of a deal breaker. Oh yeah, also apart from that first bench that I saw, there's been nothing at all to sort of sit on. I've not needed to use the little chair yet. Oh shit. Disaster. Not needed to use the little chair yet, but there's a lovely bank here on the south side, so I've literally just sort of put the tarp down to sit on that. And while I've been sat here, I've noticed that the water in here is coming down and filling the tarn, and then it's going out on the other side. Crazy. Don't you just feel like you should be at the beach and sort of build a little diversion, just goes round there and see if you can drain the whole tarn. I think I might have lost my marbles already today. God, that's a bit of a climb. Beautiful views though. It's a whole tarn. I think I could have just walked down around the edge somewhere. But it'll be worthwhile for the views, I really hope. I'm not going to say much because you're not going to hear anything, but wow. And ow, my hat hits me. That is just absolutely fantastic. I think that sheep's a bit broken. There's the edge of Coniston. Pretty much down to it now. Passed quite a few people going back to the car park. Literally right next to the car park. All nice and friendly. Must be doing just sort of local walks and stuff. Oh, my knees. And my quads, they're just absolutely stiffening up. As usual. Which is why I'm hoping the protein powder literally have a good 50 grams of protein tonight and see if that helps. Otherwise I'm in, not really in trouble. Oh, there's that jetty everyone always walks onto as well. Oh, the things you see in videos. Every single video. Wow, it's windy down here. Right, let's carry on. God, this is bench number 3 of the day. Peter George Sumner, 59 to 89. Wow, only 30 years old. God, it shows how life can bite you up the arse. But what a piss take. All those miles, I get it, there's nothing. There's been nothing for the 15 miles up to here. Really, it is just cross country. There's not really any major places it goes through, so there's nowhere really to stop for anything. You've just got to keep going. So it's a pain to find the bench so close to the end, because there's no point sitting there for 20 minutes, because in another 20 minutes to an hour, I don't even know how far it is left, to just hit the water, so it's another, what, probably a mile and a half, 2 miles max. I'll be at the campsite, and then I can literally sit down and get a tent up and have a shower and do all that good stuff and relax. The slowest mile ever. Oh my fucking god. Still got like over a mile to go, and it's just relentless. Honestly, you'd be better off walking through the fucking forest. I don't know why they've stuck down these stupid stones, and you just sort of think it comes to an end and then it carries on. So you can't actually look at the views because the trees are in the way, and even if they weren't, you're focusing so much on the floor that you can't really take in anything anyway. So my god, if I'd known this. I've just noticed there is obviously the A road that heads up to the village and then into Coniston, the main A road. I'd have been tempted just to walk that, because this is really painful. Right, campsites just near that ice cream van, next field or so over I think now. For about the last mile beforehand, it is actually back down to proper little gravel, in some places full width road. So and suddenly more jetties turn up. So I get the feeling it's literally just a tourist trap, isn't it, for get a ferry down, walk back, which is a shame. They've not carried it all the way down, but yeah, at least the views have opened back up now. So wow, yeah, actually that's opened up a lot better. Just a shame walking along the side there until you hit here, just absolutely pointless really. Just a shame I don't want to moan that much, but hey, that's the life. Right, made it to the end of day one, so £13 to check in. It's got a card, go back. So halfway down you'll see like the facilities, which is like the toilets and stuff. I'll check out the pizza shortly, but I'm going to get my tent and everything set up first and then bring you back after that. So I really need to get off my feet for a while. Also actually, once you get towards the where you pay for reception, there's like this little field here, you can see there's a Lang Shannon, something else in, so I think I'm going to, it's probably more the quiet field. The other field is busier, teenagers, people, you know, so I'm going to get a better night's sleep in here. So we'll see in the morning. All in, all changed, all showered. 50p was good for a shower. It lasted so long, I was waiting for it to stop in the end. The only thing is there's only one hook on the back of the door, so you really got to watch how you're sort of keeping hold of things. Is a bit of a juggling act on a hook. But yeah, I think I'm going to head off down to the pub now for the evening. So I'll see you in... Right, good morning, back on the Cumbria Way. So yeah, this top side of the campsite, nearest towards the hall, yeah, it's a bit away from the toilets and the pizzas, but it was really quiet. There were lots of more younger lads walking off into Coniston and stuff, but I went to sleep by 10. I didn't hear anyone after that. So yeah, all the online sort of things on this, especially this time of year, maybe on just the worst of the worst times it's bad, but it wasn't last night. I've got a photo of all the prices of like the pizzas. I think it was ranging between about 8 to 15 odd pound. They're served 8 till 6 on weekends, and breakfast starts from 8 AM. I think it was till 10. So if you do want breakfast, you can get something, but I'm going to head to Spa now and buy some stuff there. Even though I've already been to Coniston last night. I went to the Black Bull, and yeah, semi-expensive, £6 for a 6% pint of IPA. Meal wasn't too bad either. Had like a steak and ale sort of pie and chips and stuff. Good portion size, so that's really nice and handy. That was £18.50 I think, so it's not the cheapest of places. I guess in theory I should have literally taken a beeline for the pub I was going to do, which was a Robinson's one, which looked a bit cheaper. Still, I'll bring you back once we're once we're into the middle of Coniston. Oh, it's quiet here in the morning. So I just stopped in Spa. They do actually do hot breakfast bits as well. So I've got a bacon sausage bap, drink, some sweets, a meal deal. So that's just under a tenner. And there are public toilets next door. They are 30p, and you've got to use card to get into them. But yeah, quite quiet so far. Now, out of the worry of the campsite last night, because it's got real mixed bag reviews, I did start trying to frantically look for other places to stay. And what there is on the other side, there's like the rugby cricket club place. So you can see there's a lot of camp vans in there. So you can email them and you can literally stay there the nights. Even if you're camping, it does say take plastic pegs. And you can camp around the edge of like the football pitch. So I don't know how much that would have been, but I'm assuming it would be quite reasonable, because it is, well, it's just something they can use off season sort of thing. So it's one to bear in mind. Obviously it's got the usual sort of sports facility bar and stuff. It should be open into the evening, so you should at least be able to get a drink. Okay, perfect. Just as literally just about to leave the edge of Coniston, there is a bin and a couple of benches actually. That's really handy. So I didn't need to throw my coffee cup in some random's bin, but oh well. It's better than throwing it on the floor. It's that thing. What people don't point out is that, oh there you go, look, you can see in the field there's a few tents around the edge of the football pitch. You have to there's an email address on their site, so you can ask what's available, but also I guess if they've got actually any facilities. I can't believe they allow tents that they've not got toilets or something on the side. Seems to be something that looked like a shed. So anyway, yeah, this thing, the doghouse. But every video you sort of see it in, it's almost like it should be miles away from anything, and it's literally right on the edge of Coniston, which does make more sense now. And there's some good woodlands just up there, so it makes even more sense for hunting stuff. It's quite a slog out of Coniston actually, for being the low level route. The valley's down there. We're almost up to Tarn's Howl now, where I believe there's toilets and possibly an ice cream van, but probably not this time in the morning. Yeah, certainly more hilly than I was expecting. Should have probably had a look at the elevation chart a bit more. I'm hoping there's one big hill, drops down to the valley floor, and that runs all the way through. But we'll find out. So I think it's about 3.5 miles in for today so far. Multiple picnic benches. Let's carry on. Money really does grow on trees. Liars. You have to get me one then. No, if it's full of 2p's then it's not going to be worth much anyway. Right towards the end of the lake's a couple of benches. I believe we're right near towards the end now. It's not the best state, but it works. So I've powdered my feet, energy drinks, eaten a bit of protein powder, and gone to swing my bag back on, and my case, literally the hook on the end, has grabbed onto something and it's come off. So, God, they're always getting hooked on things. So now I've only got one hook, so I'm going to have to just hope for the best that it works alright. If not, actually, because I normally just keep it hooked on the one side anyway, what I might do is I might just tie the one side on. That's one less hook to piss around with all the time then. So, it may not be the end of the world actually, but it's still not good. Right, I think, geez, I said end of lake. Yeah, this is where we turn off. So, goodbye, not lake, but Tarn. No golf buggies. Oh, that's mobility scooters, isn't it? Oh gosh. Right, from that Tarn most of the way down to this main A road, it's mostly been horrible stones again, so it's really hard to actually just walk at an actual pace. So we're sort of stopping a couple of times already so far this morning. I'm slightly behind schedule, not a lot, but a bit. Not that there's any rush, although currently at the youth hostel tonight I've just got planned camping. It's meant to be dry all day today, but as you can see, it really has just stay cloudy, so I might get a bit wet going over the top of the hill later, mountain. So I might see if I can get a room there. I sort of wish I had sort of just booked a room there now. So it was £35 for the night for what was it, a bunk for two sort of thing, or £10 for the camping, and then obviously £10 for breakfast. Pretty much £9.99 all you can eat. Right, so here's the main road. Could have just followed that, would have been a lot easier. Oh, it's been past the waterfall. I might get a better view down here. As you can see, there's all these little red markers in. Just been, must be a good 50 to 100 trail runners doing a, I'm not sure what they're doing, but there was a sign saying 50 or 25 kilometres. I don't know why, but I'm thinking the Goonies. I've misjudged it, haven't I? There is a shop and a little bakery here, but you've got to go off track. I can't be asked for that. So it's about another 1.5 miles till I can stop at the car park bit that I was thinking of. Let's carry on. So there you go, just in the middle there you can see pub, to the right cafe, people playing bowls. I think this is a car park here. I'm assuming that little stone building on the end is possibly toilets, since there's meant to be toilets here as well. So I just want to find a bench and sit down and just have a rest for a bit. Right, so I've just been through the shop at Chapel Style. I think that's the name of the village. There's a little co-op there. Just bought a couple of Lucasades for carbs and another bag of sweets. Bit dear, but then it is probably more of a touristy shop than it is actually a local shop in one sense. And it's a bit out of the way. So what I'm going to do now is, I should be on the other side down by the river somewhere, but because my feet have been hurting, I'm a bit worried about time and anything else. I'm just going to walk the road. Right, I've just left the pub and the last bit of civilization in this valley. So you stopped, I've had a coke, a couple of Mars bars, just loading as much energy as possible to get over this. Keep drinking the protein drink as well in a bit. So it's about a mile and a half, 1.75 miles now. And it's 400 metres straight up and down. I'd say this lot, it's almost time for going in for feeding or something. Look at them all. Hi Barry. That's right. Yeah, dinner. Yeah. So we've had a slight climb out already. Nothing does this place justice, the sheer scale up. He's just admiring the views. That's quite impressive. That's certainly impressive. And that's depressive. Onwards and upwards. That's a fantastic waterfall going down. I've got to say, going up here, it's quite hard going, but it's all a path, pretty much. Well, I say a path. When I looked up, it looked like grass, but it's actually been like this. So it's literally all like stepstones, which no one seems to mention. Sort of going up. You can just see it keeps going up and up and up, like the other side, zigzagging. But yeah, it's actually not too bad, slow and steady. And getting there. I mean, see the guys who just passed me. God, wow, they've flown down there. Passed me a few minutes ago. They're at the bottom already, pretty much. But yeah, it's quite tough going. So I'm going to put this down and carry on. Right, we're pretty much near the top now. Looks like it should almost carry on. There's a path up there somewhere. So there's this way. Right, just getting to the end of the bowl, I think, almost, from the looks of things. We wouldn't realise it's, well, unless you'd studied every single contour properly on the map, but it just continues up and up and up over here, and then in a minute it's obviously going to start going down and down, which I should be looking forward to. Hooray! First view of the next valley, all the way along there, round the corner, and that's almost it then for the day. Here's a zigzaggy bit just coming up. I think I'm just going to run straight down. So yeah, I can see on the map it doesn't really show, but you can probably see it just there. Running up the left hand side is a proper hard path, and down the right hand side it's almost invisible, which shows how shite it is. So I'm literally going to take that left hard path because I don't want to be piddling around in the dark. I've literally got a 200 lumen ridiculously light head torch. That is incredible. Where's it all come from? Beautiful, see, beautiful. I've heard others say this is like the best bit, and I've got to say, for views, that is just spectacular looking down that valley. Look at that. Wow, that is a lot of water. So we've made it down. I've got to say, if what they say it's like along the left right hand side of this valley is anything like what I've just come across just here, it is just stones and wet. Whew. Just like that. It gets smaller and smaller. I can't even see the bridge, it's got to be behind a ridge over there. I'm not sure how far down I am. I'd better check this path though. It's a bit hole and stony. There's lots of cairns. Are they actually cairns for marking, or is this stones? Can't be stones for rebuilding the path, can it? I don't know. I don't know enough about how they maintain these things, but they look more like just piles of boulders and markers to tell you you're going the right way. Don't know how well the camera's picking it up, but since like the last footbridge it crosses over, oh, just a river, all that section. And as you can see, we're losing light. Probably can't see it too, so it's quite light on the camera actually. Starting to lose light. Good 19 miles in now, I think, so a mile left, so I should get there for 8 or just after. Oh, what a long day, absolute long day. These stones are just something else, honestly. Just past 8 now. I'm so hoping, hope beyond hope, I can just get a room. Yes. Had a really good night's sleep. We've had a good 9 hours. This is what I've got to look forward to today and the next 2 days. Squirrel. So I'm going to get packed up now and then carry on to Keswick. Here I am in my wet weather system. This one around. So I'm in a nature hike poncho. I've got the sealskin socks and stuff on, and then just a cheap regatta waterproof coat as well. So with that, I've got an inner layer where if there's any condensation it just drips off, and then I've got a layer where I'm just literally living in a tent. It's 20D nylon, it's about £20, something like that, but it does the job amazingly. Covers right down towards the floor, so with the sealskin socks they shouldn't let any water in, so I should be good all day, hopefully. Right, so where I stayed at the youth hostel, I've just walked up the one side of the river, which just joins straight. Luckily there's some footbridges here, and the bridge just up there in the distance is where the Cumbria Way joins back on. Big steps. Oh god, my aching muscles. So I'm now joining back onto the Cumbria Way after probably about half a mile, I guess. I don't know, I've not really looked. So she'll then carry on up. That's that sort of cave bed everyone sort of bangs on about. So cave, I think it's disused quarry, which makes sense with all this slate. Is it slate? I have no idea what sort of stone it is actually. It's got a blue tint to it, which is quite nice, a lot of it. Right, yeah, hopefully this is the right way. I think that up there has got to just, it can't lead anywhere from the looks of things apart from to a pile of rocks. So I'm going to continue on this lower path. If it all goes wrong, I'll let you know. Otherwise, that's the way. Right, so I'm heading up this way and it's going off round to the left. So I just realised that down here the path sort of looks like it splits in two. You've got a choice of upper and lower. I think from the looks of it, so when you come up this way, up from the pile down there somewhere, you possibly go up and then you can zigzag, or you can just cut straight up the hill here. Yeah, that's it. So you'll see like the path down there, lovely wall there. So you want to come up here, and then it's going to be through that gap there. it doesn't help it's raining, and so I'm not really paying as much attention to the map as I should do. That's it, there we go. Right, let's carry on. So there's one campsite that could be possibly used, Borrowdale, where the map symbol, where the tent symbol is on the map. It's quite a bit further south of the actual car park side of it, but I don't know about the rest of it. Guy's doing sheepdog training. It's quite cool. So yeah, I think that initial car park is where you actually book the camping, but where that house is, as well as a little B&B there as well, in that farm. Whoever can't make his mind, I've had the poncho off for a bit, and it's starting to drizzle again now, so I can't risk it. It's just not worth it. You know what will happen otherwise. Oh god, this is... No, it's alright. Yeah, and what will happen is I'll get soaked. Oh, where is it? It's a red squirrel. Hello. I can't believe. Wow. Never seen a red squirrel before, that's amazing. Right, let's go. That squirrel following me, it was just there. Squirrel was. Oh, it's got a big hotel here. Something tells me from the cars that it's probably not a hiking sort of hotel. There it goes up the road. It's showing me the way. Cheeky squirrel. You little bastard. So yeah, this looks like quite a snooty country house hotel. I don't think that's really probably one for hikers, but you never know. Could be one to look into if you want to, I guess, hike it without. So let's come to the first jetty. And there's actually a picnic bench here. This is a shame. Might help someone. Carry on. So it's an update. About 2 miles more to go. It's gotten a bit quieter along here. Since like the second jetty, there's been not really any benches or anything again. And you can see the path has turned back to just bumps. Lots of bumps. Oh god, just making it into the top of Keswick now. That's been a slog. Right, that river, you're not even round it for that long and end off in the middle of nowhere. So 1:30, so I've actually managed 2 miles an hour, or just under. Just terrible. So I think what I might do is I'm going to do a pencil museum now, then I'm going to go to the post office. Non-essential items now, like my tent and stuff that I don't need, I'm going to post home. I can save about 4 or 5 kilos hopefully off my back, and then it should make the next section a lot lighter work. Otherwise I don't think my feet are going to take it. I'm going to certainly rest up a lot tonight, having a hotel room, so yeah, there you go, there's the back of the Premier Inn just over there. Be a cat mine there. Probably not. Who knows? These places were built here for some reason. Right, Pencil Museum next. Right, I made it into my room. So I'm at the Keswick Park Hotel, so I managed to get this for $60 for the night of bed and breakfast. So it's just a single occupancy room, but it's got absolutely everything I need, unlike the youth hostel as well. Yippee, you do get a shower and stuff, so yeah, I'll certainly have one of them in a minute. But yeah, it looks like a nice little room. Nice little view over the road. Yippee. But it's very close to the centre, like the rest, like the whole of Keswick really. But yeah, it's just somewhere to crash for the next load of hours, and then just get some things dried out and stuff. Good morning. It's Tuesday. Yeah, it's Tuesday. And it's tipping it down. It's meant to be like this all day long. Apart from maybe a break in the middle for a couple of hours, which is a bit randomly bizarre. But it was meant to rain all day yesterday and it didn't, so I'm not fully trusting what they're going to say. So I've had a lovely sleep at the Keswick Park Hotel. Really nice little room actually. It's almost more like a big B&B than a hotel. Breakfast is 8 till 9:30. All looks lovely set out downstairs and everything, but I'm not really feeling like breakfast. In the end I had a burger and then a Cumberland sausage with mash last night, so I feel probably a bit filled up. So just finishing charging stuff. I've been to Greg's this morning, so I just bought a load of cookies, a couple of sausage rolls, and for energy as well, and also to not faff around sort of changing out water and stuff. I bought 3 bottles of Lucozade, so I've just got instant liquid energy with me all day today. So I'm going to get that sort of packed up now, and then I'm going to crack on with doing the 15 miles. It might end up more. We'll see how bad the weather is. I don't really want to do the low route, which from the looks of the maps has actually got 10 metres more elevation than the other one anyway. So I've plumbed in a few other different options near where the highest elevation is, and also where the mine is. There looks to be about a mile or so back another route up a hill, which get it out quickly actually, let me pause. So what it does is it goes down here, Grainskill back, following a river up, which is meant to be really wet. There is a higher route you can take off of that, but back down the way here, and it looks like it is on sort of Google Maps as well, sort of, you know, from a satellite view, is a road probably for grouse butts or something, that's nowhere near any water, going up Cock Lakes, and that goes round the top here and joins back on. Could be a bit boggy there though, but then it carries on across, and then instead of doing the highest pike as well, there's like the hard path to the left, which is very direct, or carrying on down to the right is what looks like a tracked road, which again you can carry on down and join back on. So that sounds far more of a better solution to me than walking all the way an extra 3 miles all the way over here, and I don't see why they wouldn't have just put it up the road on that bit as well to come all the way back over. And even then, instead of joining on there, I'd just literally go straight up that way and into Coldbeck, if that's what happens. So I've got numerous options that I'm going to look to take, and we'll just see how it goes when we get there. So there we go, I was almost right next door to the youth hostel. So lovely stay, and now I'm off. It's probably a smidge under 15 miles, the actual planned route, so I'm just going to take it easy, see how it goes. Once I'm off and up that way, that's it, unless I decide to turn round, which I'm not planning to do. So I'm a bit apprehensive about this there, I really am, just purely because it is a lot of elevation in two blocks, but we'll just see how it gets on. Whew. Almost 5, oh god, why did I go this way? Why? Right, almost 5 miles in now. It is, time wise, I left just before 9, 10 past 11. So, hi Barry. So there's been a lot of uphill. It's a steady uphill, so it's actually been surprisingly quick. I think I made the right decision to pop to the post office yesterday and send my stuff on home. Oh god. Ooh. So I think if I was lugging another 4 kilos across here still, I'd be like the day before, where, considering it was fairly flat yesterday. Come on Barry. That's fun. I've managed to sort of creep along the gate, open up the gate, swing round, shut the gate and carry on. I feel I'm a bit more wet from that as well. That's the only one problem with a poncho, is that's what you can see when you look straight down. From that and nowhere. The hostel, 470 metres. That's some good going. Oh. Well, that's fun. As you can see, up there is Skiddaw House. So if you end up on this track road, this is the fair weather route. That back there is horrendously boggy. There's no decent ways round it. You can sort of step on the reeds, hope for the best. I'm going to assume that is Skiddaw in the distance that I've been seeing for ages. Not Skiddaw, wherever the hell it is. Skiddaw House is right in the distance that way. It's raining now. Some boxes over there. So the one route I was sort of saying about going up, which looks like an old track, I can see it just there, but because it looks like it could potentially end up with no real path heading over to the bit that joins onto Lingy Hut, I've got to say I'm not risking it. If I've been up there before, that'd be a different story, but if it ends up really boggy, and it's boggy enough down here, I say down here, it's boggy everywhere, then it's not worth the risk. And from the looks of it, from here down to where like the mines are and up, it is more of a proper track, so I can just walk down here and chill and then head up the other way. Right, let's carry on. So right at the bottom of the hill now, before making the mile or so climb up to Lingy Hut. Literally just going to sit here for another 30 seconds. There's only a mile up the hill to Lingy, so why sit here in the rain and the cold, and I'll get up there and get my last bottle of Lucozade out, and then I can finish on up the hill and down into the pub. It's been in Lingy Hut. Keep catching up with the same guys. I didn't really catch up with them. I cut the corner straight down the hill there, which I've got to say, I think it was Justin Whiting who put it on his video, and it really is worthwhile doing. This might be a bit fuzzy, the lens, but yeah, by the mine, just go straight up there. It was just far too wet and boggy, and also where there's a massive stream that joins on halfway down, halfway up, literally it was impossible for me to go, especially on my own. I was not going to risk it, so I started heading up anyway and joined onto this. Right, I'm going to skip the very top of the hill as well, because I'm on my own and it is a bit chilly getting where I'm stood still. I'm just out the wind at the moment. It has sort of pretty much stopped raining as well, which is nice. It has been hammering it down the whole way up here. You can see how sort of wet it is. You can barely see the hills in the distance. So right, I'm going to crack on. 2/3 done, 5 more miles left, and it's pretty much only a little bit more hill up, and then 5 miles downhill, which I'm looking forward to. I just hope the terrain's better. Right, let's crack on. Just on the highest points over there, 650 odd metres I think. I'm just hiding out the wind. Right, we've made it down from the top. 1 sole less in the shoes. Hi Barry. Literally as I was coming down, it's that steep that it just started bunching up, so even though I sort of glued them on, I started moving away. So that was fun, so I've had to pull it out, but because I put like another padded area underneath, that seems to have stayed in place. It's actually just as comfy. Sealskin socks. Either my feet are going to be dry on the inside and I'm just going to have 100% praise for these socks, and literally it's just the squelching from the shoes and the water in them, or literally they've been a waste of money. I get the feeling the squelching might be the shoes rather than the socks, but see at the end. Right, I've got 2 more miles left to the pub. It's sometime around about 4 o'clock now, so it's going to be a 9 till 5 day, so 9 till 12, so it's going to be like an 8-hour day. So considering the elevation and the horrendous weather and the wind, it's just been impossible to really do any filming. Yeah, I don't think that's really too bad. The 4 guys who started off just sort of behind me, who overtook, sort of saw them again in Lingy Hut, and then they've carried on again think pretty certain they're staying at the same pub, so they're probably going to be there about 20 minutes before me, I think, overall. Right, let's turn this off. And it just continues and continues. Well, there's the Muddy Duck Cafe. You can almost see the prices. Right, so I made it to Colbeck at about 5. As you can see, it's still lashing it down now. So I'm into my room here, £70 for the night for a double. It's an absolutely lovely room. Teas, coffees and everything. Lovely bathroom as well. But problem I've had is literally today it's been so horrendously wet that my shoes have decided to start disintegrating, and on top of that my sealskin socks that are meant to be waterproof are soaked, absolutely soaked through. So I've literally been just walking with wet feet all day, because once it started really raining, that was it. It was going to be impossible to keep the feet dry. So I've got shoes disintegrating, and it's going to be another day of horrendous wetness tomorrow. And I've got one pair of socks that are generally dry, well, which are dry, which means I've then got no socks to then be able to take off for the train and stuff. So considering what happened on the Limestone Way with 2 days of walking in wet and literally just finding my feet starting to tingle, I'm afraid that I'm going to have to bail from here. So I'm literally going to stay here tonight, have a really good old knees up, get a taxi from here in the morning, and then get the train home. So I'm gutted. 58 miles with 15 left to go. But it's been 2 days now of heavy rain. Well, today it's been really heavy rain. It's stopped for about an hour and a half in the middle, and so I've barely filmed anything, because even just trying to get a phone out or just trying to get a drink was just absolutely horrendous. Everything is soaked. Luckily everything's in bags and everything, so main rucksack and stuff's dry, but everything on the outside is just wet. Oh, shorts generally dry. I've got to say, the one thing that has lived up to its expectations is, if I run back round or hobble. Oh yeah, also I bought some mail bags. There you go. Yeah, the one thing that's really lived up to its expectations is the Nature Hike poncho, which I can't really fault it. It's done fantastic the whole way. So yeah, this is probably me signing off now from the Cumbria Way. And I'm back for day 5. So I'm going to do the final 15 now and head into Carlisle. So it's Saturday, so it's 3 or 4 days later, so not too much further. Shoes are still, I've got to get rid of these shoes. I've glued the soles. They still don't feel right, so I'm going to make sure I'm stopping a lot, otherwise I'm going to probably destroy my feet. So right, let's Cumbria Way 70 miles. As you can see, it's now weekend after all the horrendous rain. There's the facilities for it. Apparently lovely showers. See, not one soul has actually stayed here overnight. This is going to be really bumpy again. There are a lot of picnic benches here actually, so that really doesn't show up so much, and obviously a lot of fire pits. But yeah, this looks like a lovely little campsite, and I would have been staying here if the weather wasn't horrendous. It is, yeah, apparently £5 a night, I think. You can hear in the background the river, and that's quite loud. You'd probably want earplugs. Just carry on. Yes, there you go. Although it looks like a sliver from most people, it does go down towards the river more as well. So there's more camping there, and it does just keep slithering up past this water plant of some description. Let's see how it gets on. I'm getting through the woodlands, a fair bit more like this. I mean, after all, that day I was coming down the hill into Coldbeck. There was literally, I'm guessing, a lot of water dumped. The river, when I was on the train home, was literally, well, the rivers were just torrents. Today they look like they're a good metre plus lower, so there's a massive difference. Hopefully it's not raining. It's meant to stay dry today, so hopefully it's just any wet muddiness underfoot that I'll come by. I'm assuming a lot of the fields will be very wet as well, so hopefully the shoes will survive. Just past the mile mark. It looks like the path should go up. You can see where my red line is. I've just followed the path through, which has come to a Cumbria Way sign. So it's either changed over time, should have been up there, or it's not anymore. It's starting to brighten up a little bit. So that's just over a mile in, and we've finished Parsons Park. There's quite a few dog walkers in there actually. Just had a good drop back down towards the river. Really a pretty steep drop actually, but it's all nice, good decent path so far. It's the end of the next woodland. I do feel like a piece of candy floss at the moment. There's been so many spider webs down there, and they just literally all going straight across my forehead. I don't know how they're managing it, little gits, but none of them have caught me. Actually, there's one around my leg as well. Oh. Anyway, as long as there isn't a spider on there as well, that'll just really be the end of it. There's something on my leg. Oh, I don't know. Lots of dirt. Shoes are holding up still. They've actually seemed to have settled in, I think. Yeah, there's something wrapped around my leg somewhere. Oh, it's going to wind me up. Oh well. Yeah, shoes are actually holding up so far. They've actually sort of bedded back into a nice position. I did at the train station have to sort of pack some plastic into the one, just to raise it to make it more stable again, which seems to have done the trick. Someone starts playing a banjo, I'm fucking out of here. God, it's a nice house. It's a holiday home. 3 miles in, Seringham Parish Council. It's a little car park in the bin. It's over the river and carry on. Don't think there's anything else there though. So that's it. That's typical. So on that gate I stuck my hand in bird shit. Still. Little bag of anti-bac gel. Unlock it. Lock it back down, and there you go. You can use that bit there on your hands. Ultra lightweight, no mess, and also safe-contained. So at least I can clean, or at least sterilise the bird shit on my hand. Little church just disappeared off into the background. This bit here was rather boggy. Oh god, and this. It's one of those ones where you think it's all right and then it isn't. Assuming this is why they might put that down there. That's better on the tracks. Right, about 3.5 in I think now. Almost there. Oh my god, right. I do feel like you lot. Right, I'm going to keep going this way, you lot. Right, come on. That's it. Come on. Come on, hey. I like you lot. Yeah, you're alright, you're alright. Come on. Angie. Come on. Come on. Where are you going? Right, I'm going this way, you. Am I going round you then? Right, I'm going to go round you this way. Come on. That's it. Good lad. Well, there's only balls, but there's certainly little. It actually feels nice to have some little cows for change. Oh well, on we go. Right, so just after the cows have come across the cattle grid here, so we should be turning over the bridge there, which looks quite new. So I'm just sat on the wall here at the moment, just literally resting the feet just for a few minutes because I know what will happen if I don't. Also I can hear people over there somewhere. Oh yeah, there you go. People walking down through the woods. See pink coats. So I'm just going to rest here for a few more minutes and then I'm going to carry on. Ah, typical. So that bridge is just there, and literally way down here is the world's smallest bench. I've heard comments where people sort of say they skipped the last day because it is just flat and everything, but indeed this is still countryside, it's still Cumbria, and you've got a lovely river to walk along, especially when it's up like this. So I'm quite enjoying this. That really has dropped down a bit there. Just over 5 miles in. So we're into like the 6th mile now. As you're walking along the field, there's a little part off and you head along like a woodlands along the edge of the river. But it's just dawned on me that the quickest way to get to Carlisle is just to jump in. That's get there in no time. It's worth bringing a kayak. Yeah, certainly along this point as well, there's got to be a fair few birds of prey or something sort of lurking around here. I've seen two massive loads of feathers. In fact, there's another one there. There's probably another around here. Yeah, there's been lots of feathers, but not much of the rest of a pigeon. So they're obviously dinner for something quite big around here. Really? See, that is a fantastic view, that is. It's even better from here than it was nearer. I'm sure the middle bumpy one there is the one we came over. Or it's possibly the back of it. Or maybe we came down there and it was a bump further back. Sheep. Cows. Sheep. Cows. That's got to be one of those Highland cows. Big old pointy horns. God, everyone's just chilled today. I feel sorry for that cow. Look, out of all the cows, that poor one there is the odd one out. Right, just under 9 miles in now. So bridge endings just across the road there. It's a lovely picnic bench here, which you can see to about 10 people. Been across the road, so and take away fresh steam baked pizzas, 5 to 8:45. So I do take away pizzas there in the evening, but at least, well, it looks quite. Look at the car park rammed. But I'm just going to sit here for a few minutes because I want to head on to Dalston. Funny, I actually drove through it this morning and saw this bench and thought, oh, I hope that's on the trail. Oh, there's one over there next to the bin as well, so you could sit there and watch the world go by as well. And over here I can sit and I can just oh, money spider, it's gone. So I can just sit here, refill things back up and stuff. Don't do that. Sit here just for, I've only got a mile until 10 miles and then that's 2/3 done, but I just want to sit and have a rest because I've not been able to rest since about mile 4. Probably should have sat down when I could have done a few more times, or just sat on grass or just sat on the bridge, but oh well, it is what it is. Considering the weir from the sluice, it's got been a mill just here. Actually, I think there's show mill on the map. So I'm doing this bit, which one seems pointless. See a lot of kids playing over there. Right, let's carry on. Okay. So I was walking up following that weir, and literally I looked at the map and was like, I should have turned off. So where that green fence is, I think the guy who owns that is probably either it has changed legitimately, or someone has just deliberately blocked off where the path should go through. So it's far more of a way to get around than it is just to go back. So I'll bring you back at the bridge and what I'd recommend doing. Actually, doesn't help, literally probably can't really make it out. There's a house being developed there. It wouldn't surprise me if it ran through the back of their garden. Those arseholes are just, someone's pissed around doing something. Anyway, I'll show you where to carry. Right, so when you go over the bridge, you'll see CW Cumbria Way. You can see that house is being developed and the path runs down, and behind those houses it should have then veered off to the left, and instead it hasn't. So I would just go straight up this way and follow the roads. So there you go, it's where it should have come out, so you can sort of see on the map where I am there. So it should have literally come out just here and gone across. So yeah, they have literally cut the access off. To have carried on round, it is literally about 500 to 900 metres more, just because someone's cut the path off. There you go. I haven't looked on the map, but I bet you those sluice gates, since the little weir goes there, goes to this mill, which has then been upgraded to coal at some point to run off both. Looks quite derelict now, which is a shame. Let's have a walk through. God. Canteen. Looks very 60s, that does. 30s. It's old. Right, just knocking on 10 miles almost now. So this little road heading up towards the co-op has got loads of benches and bins and all sorts on it. So good for a rest, just a shame it's the wrong side of it's the wrong side of stopping. Because you want to stop and get some stuff, not sit and then go get some stuff. But oh well, 5 miles left. Well, if you want to use the toilets here, they're locked, so that's really freaking useful. Oh good, the right flag. Right, I'm going to pop round chip shop I guess and carry on. Right, just popped in the chip shop, £2.50 for small chips. I've got to say the sausages in there looks absolutely amazing. Yeah, it's proper chip shop chips. Yeah, they're nice. I couldn't be bothered to then walk back to benches and stuff. I thought, just hope for the best. And up the road past the church, on the other side of the road, you've got to cross over anyway, the path ends. Just past the pharmacy there is a bench. So I'm going to stop here, eat some chips, and then carry on for the last 5 miles. Coffee? I'm going to assume now we've left Darlston and we've got like, realistically it's 5 miles pretty much up to the castle and then a little bit back down the road on yourself. I'm going to assume that that's pretty much it for any sort of more rurally sort of farm stuff. I might be wrong. There might be a little bit along the railway line on the other side of this. Hello. So it does look to be back to a bit smaller paths up there. I think where the crematorium is. As you can see those last videos, that's obviously the gas bit that they were doing. And you can see they're building a new bypass as well, which I'm assuming is probably why the gas was then done. So I'd probably expect at some point that there's going to be some sort of real major delays on that path, on this path section, unless it's a bridge, because there's got to be a bridge over the river and the railway line. So with a bit of luck it'll be a really, hopefully it's putting in foundations, and it'll be a really high elevated bridge straight over the river, in which case it shouldn't need to shut, but I'm sure they will, because they love a good closure in this country. Old railway line from somewhere to somewhere. Final mile. Oh. Old railway bridge. There's the church. Gets a bit washy here, but when it ends, I think you head straight up this way, and then it's going to be a right, I hope. It's the only way you can go to get over the railway line stuff anyway. Right, well that's crap, bloody gas mains, can't get round there. So I just thought, sod it, I'm going that way. There's Carlisle Castle. There's a guy cutting in at the last minute because he's a cock. And now we've got to go right down here somewhere. So, almost to the end. That's quite a funky castle, that is, really, isn't it? Been in there once. It's good. Lots of history. Most battles in the country against that castle. Right, let's get to the... Oh. I believe this is the official end. Oh, I better actually fucking touch it. Ooh. Oh, there we go. Just here's my kit for the Cumbria Way. So 9245 grams starting, that's everything bar water. And there's the clothing. So fairly alright regatta shoes. The bottoms did start to flatten out after another hike or two in them, so I've reinforced the inner soles and completely padded them up. So they are really nice and comfortable again now. But otherwise, I've done really well. The grip on them is absolutely fantastic. Changed over time. Gaiters, rubber glove, always good for literally pulling out all the stinging nettles in the way. I'm not expecting many on this one, if any. Hopefully, it seems to be more open paths. 1,000 mile socks, sort of medium-y size. I can't remember exactly which ones. Of course, the hat. There are sealskin socks as well. They'll be in the bag, and I'll show you them shortly. So first off with the bag, it's a Viper 45 litre bag. It weighs, I think it's about 1.1 kilos. So it's actually crazy light for the price, really, compared to what you pay for Ospreys. And yeah, it doesn't quite have the ventilation on the back, but it's always done me fine. And it's got space within the bag, as you can see. I put the tent on top, and that's just a preference, really. I like that with the weight nearer to your back for the gravity. Right, so let's pull things out and then take it. Again, the actual tent's a Nature Hike Cloud Up 1, so the 20T. So obviously it can stretch a bit compared to like the other ones. But it weighs in at just over 1.5 kilograms for a one-man tent, which does have enough space inside to chuck absolutely everything. So it is a proper, true one-man tent. So I'll start with the on bag on the front. I've moved on to this because it's lighter, it just clips on the front, so it's like 100 grams or so for the bag. Times for what I'm doing. This little pouch here is for this new video camera I've got, which is the Casso EK7000 Pro. It seems alright for the price of £50 odd, and also I've got a very small stand for it as well. So first off, which is connected to the front of the bag, is just a very small tarp. I think it's about possibly a metre by about 70 centimetres. but it's ideal just for chucking your bag on if you need to sit down, and also for the front of the cloud up tent, because that when you get in and out it's a bit of a pain, so having a tarp there makes it a lot easier. My snack of choice, some wine gums. I've got the stop start for this device, a compass, stuck to the floor. I'm not really expecting to use the compass. I've got all the maps on my phone, so from there I can literally just, I've got the whole route maps in, but just in case as well, I've got the Cumbria Way guide like everyone else gets, and a pen in case I need to write in it. Got some tape for literally chafing and stuff, some wet wipes. Anything else on that side? No, nothing on that side. I like duct tape for hot spots. That there is, this is going, isn't it? Yeah. That bag there is talcum powder. I'm sure I'm going to get sort of picked out as a drug dealer on this. You'll see why as we go on. Spare battery for the camera. More talcum powder. And more talcum powder. I've taken that out of what I used to use, little Nalgene bottles like what I've got the Vaseline in, and it's saved about 15 grams. Probably should have done the same with the sunscreen, the DEET, just in case, a little pencil torch, and I can't bother to put these into the bag and vice versa, so just lots of the hydration tablets, and these ones from, where is it? Home Bargains. They've got like caffeine in as well, so it's a bit of a boost. I've got cola and strawberry, and then just a wipe for the camera. So that's everything in the bag, and then what I've done is I've just modified this slightly just with a couple of extra bigger carabiners so that they actually clip on. Well, I could actually retire them now. I'll have a look at that shortly. Right, within the very front section of the pouch of the bag here, I've got the things that I expect to use, not necessarily the most, but I'm more likely to need to hand during the day, or hopefully not. So first aid kit, that's got absolutely everything in for too much really, but it's still only 150 grams. Not going to go into the detail. That's a titanium trowel and all the bits you can go with that, so I'm not off to the beach. Catadin B3 600ml water filter, and in case anything does need strapping up, just some sports tape. Right, into the next layer of the bag, I've just got my waterproof jacket, sealskin socks, and my ridiculously ultralight poncho that again you can double up as a shelter. I think it weighs about 200 grams, so it is absolutely stupidly light, and it is just, as it says, 20D fabric, so it is just literally tent material in the shape of a proper poncho. Oh yes, one thing I'm going to try out, one thing attached to the side of the bag. I'm not really one for sitting on the floor. From my other videos you'll see that literally I like finding a bench and stuff. So I can now sit anywhere, and that's sub 300 grams. It is absolutely tiny. It's literally probably about 30 centimeters off the floor, but it does the job. So within the main compartment itself, first off, everything just goes into my bag liner, i.e. a bin bag. It's heavy duty and just keeps everything in there. So in the very bottom, first off, would be the wider C, widder C, sort of 300 gram sleeping bag. Then, because it's meant to be quite warm the next few days when we'll be using it, to top that off, I've got one of the, I've forgotten the actual brand, probably see it from the logo, it's a down hood. I've then got my down booties, because just in case it is a bit colder than expected, that will keep me warmer. I've also then got the Nature Hike Goose Down jacket, so that's a complete extra layer, so that will bolster the whole sleep system up. Then I've got the Nature Hike, I think it's 2 or 3 season sleeping pads, small as anything, 416 grams, and just a 90 gram pillow, inflatable pillow, just a cheap one which came in this bag, a Homfully, and then as everyone else has got, just a little flex tail pump, so it all sits together. Spare clothing wise, spare pants, shorts, t-shirt, that's literally all I'm taking extra. The aim is to wash at night, get into clean stuff, and then in the morning I can stick the dirty stuff back on. Within here as well, extra pair of hiking socks, just in case everything does become absolutely wet. Right, so moving on, water. So this sits just outside of the pack in the top, in the pack liner in the top, so it doesn't dribble on anything, because I have found that actually the end of this, it doesn't properly seal, so I'm not too impressed with that actually. Right, food wise, I'm generally going to be eating pubs and just shops, so I've literally got 2 freeze-dried meals just in case, and a couple of energy powders, because a lot of people do get horrendously tired when they are hiking. What I've decided to do is try out, just because use it for weights anyway, and that is trying out using protein whey, so literally having like a protein shake at night time, and hopefully see if that repairs the muscles and makes things repair a lot quicker. Right, we're done food. Oh, we're on food still. So that is my whole cook set. So titanium spork, some extra spare matches. In there's 100 grams of gas in a 750ml titanium cup, with a little Foldo cup as well for coffee. A few coffees on top. Some of the expanding towels. And then also in there is one of the little titanium BRS stoves and a lighter, so I've got a backup just in case. So that is literally all I'm taking food wise. Power wise, I'm taking the charger for this camera. I've bought some ridiculously cheap USB headphones for the train. I've got this USB charger here, wall charger, so it just folds flat. I've got a few spare leads, 10,000 milliamp power bank, and a load of spare memory cards just in case, since I weigh nothing. And last but not least is hygiene. So again, I was trying to look for ways to literally save weight, so I bought these literally shampoos, and they're absolutely massive, but they've only just turned up today, so I'm going to have to weigh these shortly. But this is all my hygiene, so folding toothbrush and some little toothpastes, probably more than enough for a week and a half there. That is my towel. I've then got within here, for the sake of a few days, I just bought some little electrical bags off eBay, so shampoo, a little bar of soap, and the thing I recently just sort of did a quick little review on, the AKT aftershave sort of balm, so I'll see how that gets on as well. Then as extras, just to make sure on everything, oh yeah, in the bag over there as well, there are some extra headphones, so extra hygiene, and this must have been hiding somewhere. There should have been one in the on bag, and there will be, so another little bag, and that's just anti-bac gel. Almost seems stupid, but each little amendment I've made like that saves about 30 grams a time. And then that's just a load of moisturiser, obviously cotton wool earbuds, 2 things, and that was the other one, the nappy rash cream. So I've literally just chucked that into there, and that's again saved a good 30 odd grams. So that's literally everything I'll be taking. Everyone's got their own preferences to what they want to take. If I was bolstering this up, could just bolster it over a load more meals, buy some gas in Keswick halfway through. Otherwise, I'm quite happy that I've got sub 10 kilo base weight, and not everything is ridiculously overpriced sort of ultralight gear. So hopefully, if you've made it this far in the video, thank you, because I'm going to chuck this at the end so everyone's not bored to death. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you again.